Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be showing you how I puzzled my way through figuring out how to get the springs that were falling out the bottom of this beautiful Victorian love seat.
Ooh.
How I got them to go back up and strap them back in, and I did it all by myself. So without further ado, let's get into it.
So I got this little love seat recently on Facebook Marketplace from a really lovely lady who gave it to me for free, which was amazing. She said that it had been in her family since she believes the 1870s. And I mean, just look at all the little details it has, the beautiful tufted back. And yeah, it has a little bit of damage to it, but honestly, for the age, I still think it's so beautiful and has so much life left to it.
We're gonna try and fix this. Let's try it. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to, but it is worth a shot. So we've got the original jute. Some of it is still intact. It looks like it has been tacked quite a few times. I was about to say, I think the jute is still in good condition, but it does feel a little bit dry. Oops. Nope. Okay. I'm gonna see if I can pull out these tacks off. Maybe leave those. Pull out these tacks. Pull out any other ones I can find that I can reuse because I don't have this specific type of tack. And then I think I'm gonna fill some of these holes just so that there's a little bit more integrity in the wood. And then I'll probably have to wait, like, I think it's an hour or two for it to dry. And then I have some wood stain that's pretty much this color, so I could stain it just in case it's ever seen, if I feel like I need to. And yeah, then I'm gonna see if I might have to wait for Adam to get home to have an extra set of hands to pull this down, or maybe I wonder if I could use a ratchet strap. Let's just get into it. Let's see what happens. I'm gonna get a pry bar. That was easy. These are too fine. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get those out. I might have to use new tacks. But if I can salvage some, that would be nice. I'll be back with a better tool. Maybe I do have to. Oh, that's easy. Okay. In a second, little dish. The little ones will go in this one. Nothing. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get these out without causing more harm, so I'm just going to see if I can get just the easy ones out. Okay. Also, I'm sure that I should be using more precaution in the way that I'm doing this. Hopefully I don't get hurt, but this is not a tutorial. I'm not telling you to do what I'm doing at home. So if you decide to do this, maybe take more precautions than I am. Come on. No? You're not? Wow. Oh, I did it. Haha. Yay. Alright. Since this is dirty work, I wanted to do the dirty work before I took a shower and did my makeup and got all ready, which is why I look like this. I think I'm gonna call it that. I got a few. So I think I'm going to get this little vacuum and wood fill. Using this Gorilla wood filler that I used for a different project. So it's kind of starting to dry out, but gonna see if I can make it work. Does it look pretty? No, but I hope it will be a little bit more structurally sound. All right, so filled this with some Gorilla wood filler. It has to dry for 1 hour for shallow. Those are pretty shallow, so. And while that dries, I was just thinking maybe I should sew on some of the ones that are like torn through the jute. I'm thinking I should probably try and sew something to give it some extra strength. Because yeah, like I said, I would really prefer if I only have to fix this once in the foreseeable future. There's only so much I can do, but let's see what we've got here. That one's very torn. Okay. This one's good. This one only has one tear. That one's fine. That one could use a little help. Okay. I realized, oh, just broke. I realized that I have this waistband material that doesn't fray really, and I thought that might be a good little, like, if I fold it into this fold, that might give it a little bit of extra strength. I hope. So I think I'm gonna try that. Wish me luck. Using my old fabric shears, because my new ones I only use on like finer fabrics. Alright, let's see. This is probably the worst, and would probably do well to have it almost encompassing it. Yeah. Gonna use a fat needle for this and some polyester thread. This is not gonna be a pretty fix, and I know that. Right. I am gonna need my thimble. It is. And for any of you thinking, I've tried to use a thimble. How to use a thimble? Well, it doesn't go on your index finger generally. I mean, I use mine on my middle finger, and I use it to push the needles through fabric. So it's especially good when you're doing something with thicker fabric, because it's harder to push the needle through. This one will probably be pretty easy because it's like a looser weave, but we'll see. And then I might even quadruple my threads. And the way I like to thread a needle is I match the two cut ends up, and then I take the loop on the other side, and then you're not dealing with frayed threads. You pull it through. And then if I was just doing a single or like a double thread, I then put my needle through the loop, which is awesome because then you never have the two threads get uneven. It's awesome, life-changing. If you've ever done extensive amounts of hand sewing, you know what I'm talking about, and it is So frustrating. But since I am doing 4 threads, put it down, tie a quick knot, nice fat one so it doesn't pull through. And for extra safety, if you pull that out, you can put, if you pull your knot out, you can put your needle through the loops, and then it for sure won't pull through unless it pulls through that entire stitch. So yeah, I should probably do a little video at some point on my favorite sewing tricks I've learned throughout the years, because in 25 years of sewing, I have learned quite a bit from the many people that I have studied under, worked with, etc. And I'm just doing a back stitch because it's nice and strong. It's not straight, but it doesn't matter, because this is just for safety, not for beauty. I don't actually know how strong this stuff is. I hope it's strong. I mean, I will say this, on the skirts that I've used it on and the waistbands, they don't stretch at all. There is no give, which is not necessarily my favorite thing in the world, but you know, that is its function. This is another thing about the way that I said to thread the needle, how I usually do it, is that if you wind up in this situation, you can take the needle off without cutting your threads. So you can bury the needle, like if you have not enough to sew with the needle on like this, you can take the needle off of the thread, put the needle into the material further, and then loop the thread back into the needle and pull it through to make your knots. It's pretty cool. That was one of the best things I learned when I was doing my internship with Barbara Matera Limited, which was one of the Broadway costume houses in New York. Did that when I was 18 because of my very awesome FIT teacher, who I went to her and I said, I know that I'm in the fashion design program, but I have no interest in fashion. That was how I felt back then. Or at least the fashion industry. And I want to do costuming. And I, at the time, was just asking if it would be okay if I leaned my projects more towards costuming than fashion. Although back then, back in my day, fashion was very costumey, which was so much more fun, I feel like, than it is now, but c'est la vie. But yeah, she knew someone that worked at the costume house and she got me that internship, and I am forever grateful to her because that was one of the most incredible experiences I had in the costuming world. I got to meet so many famous costume designers for Broadway, like Greg Barnes, who's an absolute sweetheart and so freaking talented. I got to make a belt for what's her name? She plays Jack's mother in 30 Rock, but she's also a famous actress outside of that. That was just a cameo role, I think. I made her a belt for her role in A Little Night Music with Bernadette Peters, and when she did the fitting for it, she said, "Now that's a belt." Still proud of that. That was a fun time. I got to be a fit model for the American Ballet Theater's Nutcracker. That was neat. I worked on beading for the Sugar Plum Fairy and Shrek the Musical. did beading for the Lion King. That was like a really amazing experience for an 18-year-old to have, I have to say. I'm, yeah, again, forever grateful that that was something I got to experience, especially because in the time I was there, they unfortunately went out of business, which was just so sad. But yeah, it was awesome. I think I will just wait and see how this one goes. Maybe what I'll do is take a tap. And pull on it. Feels pretty sturdy. I'm just gonna do it. What the heck? Put it in all of them, but I think I'm not gonna sew it to all of them because they'll just be nailed in. Unless there's another one that's ripped as badly, which it might be, but. Going a little bit further than the ends of the straps, because I feel like it will give the edges a little bit more strength. That's a theory, it's not fact. It could very well not work out in my favor, but you know, I'm gonna give it a shot. Okay. While that's drying, I got all these cut, a couple of them sewn in. I'm trying to figure out what the best plan of action is for holding the springs while I refix things. I wonder, what could I use? I was thinking I could take this board and potentially put a furniture blanket around the other side of it and then ratchet this down so that it pulls everything that way, but I don't know if the angles are going to be good enough to hold it steady. Could do that way, but I just don't want to damage it. Let's see. Just did it one area at a time. It could be doable. Maybe I don't use this. I use a smaller piece of wood. I think I need to attach these two first because that'll hold things tighter. And then doing these ones will be easier. Maybe. But I do want to put this underneath here, either way, so that the beautiful floral wood molding does not get harmed. I feel like a ratchet strap or in a plank or one of these would be great. I just really don't want to hurt anything. Well, I'm gonna cut here and waffle by myself. Well, I waited an hour and it seems like some areas are still a little bit too damp. This whole area is okay, but the last kind of section I did is a little bit not fully cured. So I'm gonna let it cure for a little bit. Then I'm gonna get the wood stain in this dark color to kind of match and I think just brush it on so it doesn't look like this, even though it's all pretty much gonna be hidden. In case anything shows. I don't know why it would, but might as well make it look nice. Nicer. And yeah, then I'm gonna try and manhandle this back into place, I guess. I don't have enough tacks. I was only able to get out a few of the big ones. I could go to the store, to Home Depot or something, but I don't really feel like it because I have plans to go to a different hardware store to get paint. I'm gonna do some research and I'll come back to you. Well, yeah. I just got a nail through my nail, which is actually a first for me. Good thing I just had my tetanus booster. So, since these are not necessarily not rusty. Alrighty. Still don't know what I'm gonna do about the nails. If I just use regular nails? Like short nails? See if that works. I don't know. I'll see. But I was gonna stain this stuff, and then I remembered that all the stain I have is oil-based, which is super smelly and messy. And I said, well, you know what? I have a lot of acrylic paint. Oh, I should turn this off. No more air purifier noise. I have some of Adam's acrylic paint, and I think I'm just gonna paint it with that and call it a day, because no one's gonna look at this. That is my decision. Yep. I feel good about it already. Well, that color match is pretty darn good, if I do say so myself, and I do, because I did nothing to create that brown. I just picked out the only brown paint that we have, so, you know. Gonna need some water. All the paint I can scrounge out of this. Let's see what we can do here. Alrighty, we're gonna have to deal with the air purifier being on because the dust from this is immense. So, the air purifier's on. I got some ratchet straps and I have to remind myself how to use them. See if I'm able to do this. Okay. So now that I've got that there, then I actually want this. Try and protect the velvet seat. Cool. And then I'll put, that's pretty dirty. What else can I use? There's scrap. Nothing. Ignore that. Nothing happened. Everything is fine. Good. Now, I'm gonna try and slide this under. This is pretty ridiculous. I know. I acknowledge it. It's working! Okay, before I take it too tight, I need to pull these down. Yeah. Can you believe it, you guys? Look at me. Look at this independent woman. Independent girly. I don't need anyone to help me with this because I've got ratchet straps. Help me. I'm kind of a genius, I think. At least this is kind of genius, I think. I hope it doesn't damage anything, but you know, I will try my best to keep everything out of harm's way, but you can't always do everything perfectly. Oh wow, can't believe this is working. Cool. That's pretty neat. I'm, again, well chuffed. Won't be able to do that one, but that's okay. I think I can do all of them with this here, except for one, which is pretty darn good. I think I'm just gonna go for it. Like, what's the worst that can happen? Doesn't work. Okay, then I'm still where I was before I started. Ouch! Oh. Today's not my day for nails. Okay. Take two. Yeah! Hell yeah! I should probably wear a mask. Hey ho! That worked pretty well. Okay. Now let's go for this guy. Right in the center. Tee-hee, tee-hee. We need something more robust for here. I'm gonna see what I got. It's a bit longer, but I feel like if I can put one long one in, then maybe the other little ones will still hold. Well, hopefully it won't crack it. We'll find out. Yay, it worked! That was a really loud and obnoxious yay. But you know what? I'm home alone. I can celebrate as loud as I want. Heck, I'm just gonna use these. Cause why the heckity hey not? You know? That's what I ask myself sometimes. Why the heckity hey not? I wonder if I'll find out after doing this that there's a reason not to use nails. Like regular nails. But I hope not. Now, if I use this big beefy guy, do we think it's gonna, think that will crack it? Just feel like there should be something really anchoring this. I'm gonna give it a try. Success! Huzzah! Whoop, 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 whoop. Feeling chaotic, and I don't. Chaotic in the sense that I'm just like, yeah, we'll see what happens. Which is not usually my MO. But I'm just like, I just want to have fun. And you know what? I'm having fun fixing this. These are working fabulously. I mean, I hope. They seem to be working fabulously, I'd say. Yeah! Am I going a little bit nail happy? Sure. But why not? I'm here. what I'm talking about. Sting! It's Sting! Yay! Wow. I'm shocked that all worked. Pleasantly, you know, pleasantly shocked, surprised. Alright. It's time to flip her over. The seat is poofy again. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Moment of truth. Pray for the seat. It didn't break yet. It's so much comfier. Okay. Did I really do that? Yes! I can't believe I did this. No, I can. I can. I can. But I can't believe I did it all by myself. It looks so good! I'm so proud of myself. Oh my god. I can't believe I did that. I did it. I did it, I did it, I did it, I did it, I did it. Oh my gosh. Yeah, the holes are there, but it came to me with this piece of lace. If I just go like this with the lace, oh, you don't see it. Look at that. And there you have it. You don't need to know what you're doing in order to do things. This is what I'm learning. I think I actually, every time I've taken on a project that I had no skills or training behind and I finished it, it's so gratifying. And as you saw, I did it. I was pretty proud of myself. And I still am. I think that my little idea of using the ratchet straps and the piece of wood worked phenomenally well. And yeah, this is actually, it's so comfortable now. And I can't wait. Maybe I'll make a couple little throw pillows. Yes, I think so. I think some little throw pillows would be really nice. And yeah, I'm really pleasantly surprised with how it wasn't easy. No, it was kind of easy. It just took a little bit of thinking throughout the process. And, you know, maybe I'll find out in a month or two why I shouldn't have used those longer nails. Or maybe it'll be fine forever. Only time will tell. I hope it was enjoyable to watch. I hope it might inspire you guys to tackle a project that you might have been putting off. Because, you know, I've been looking at this for a couple months being like, I should really do that. I should get that done. I'd really like to sit there. And guess what? Now I can. I took a couple hours. I did the thing. Do the thing. Do that thing that you're putting off. Trust me, you're gonna feel good. So thank you for coming along and watching this little project. It's gonna be, I think, the first in a small series of me redecorating and fixing up my office. And I'm really excited to share more and to get this space feeling as cozy as this love seat now is. Thanks for coming along. I hope to see you again soon. If you wouldn't mind throwing me a like and subscribe, I'm just starting my YouTube journey and all support is very, very appreciated. And I will see you in my next video. Bye! without further ado, let's get on with it. If you have a project that you have no right to be doing,
I did it.
Did I actually press record? I did.